Just being real.
Sure.
I'm tired too.
Y'all, this was supposed to be done earlier today.
It's my fault.
So this is why I look like this, because earlier today I did my makeup and everything for this video, and Micah kept putting it off.
I did.
So
I have things to do.
How does it feel to know that you got the keys to the game?
hey everyone, so I'm Endo.
And my name is Michael.
And we haven't done, the last video was when we were walking. Babe.
Oh, I'm
The last video we were
trying
walking
to be a good
still.
parent. Yeah.
Because I was like 38 weeks, I think.
Something like that. 37, 38.
Yeah. So we had our baby.
Mm-hmm. She is alive and born.
And about to start fussing soon. Wait, I got it. I passed it. All right. So we wanted to talk about Amara's birth story because I really feel like I had a supernatural. Where am I supposed to be looking? I never understand that. Here?
Yes.
I really feel like I had a supernatural experience. Definitely hurt, but it just went, like, rarely do you find somebody whose birth story went exactly the way they planned it. I would honestly say that mine even went better than the way I planned it. So, without further ado,
Praise God.
let me start. So Sunday, I'm gonna be looking at my phone because I kind of made some notes and stuff.
She don't remember everything.
Yeah, he'll fill in where I don't remember. So on Sunday, May 20th, I didn't go to church. Micah went to church.
She ain't as saved as she thinks she is.
No, I just felt like my baby was gonna come. So that afternoon, we went for a long walk. So back up, we took Bradley Method classes, and we also had a doula. So the Bradley Method is just, it's husband coach childbirth, or even if you don't have a husband, like, it's about having a person there as your coach, and the focus is on relaxation, nutrition, and exercise. So in our Bradley classes, we had to, like, walk daily. We had to eat. I had to eat a certain diet and, get my protein in and log that in. We practiced relaxation exercises because relaxation is really key in terms of handling your contractions, because if you tense up, but when you're fearful, then you tense, and then that increases the pain. So we practiced these exercises where I was supposed to relax during pain, through pain.
Praying too.
I can't even talk.
I'm praying for you.
So we did our walking, and the goal was to walk 3 miles, because in the third trimester I was supposed to be walking 3 miles, and up until that point I really hadn't hit 3 miles because it was just so.
We were lazy.
No, not only
we were
just
busy,
and I was just tired after a while, and I always had to pee at the end of every mile, so it was kind of like there was no bathroom in sight. So anyway, I think we walked about 2.7 miles, so close to 3 that afternoon. And then later that night, I was getting ready for bed. Michael was already sleeping because he just loves sleep.
No.
Oh, you had work. Well, yeah, we both had work.
You see how she's trying to play me?
We both had work.
I just love sleep. Like, I have to get up at this point, I had to get up at 3 a.m. And so, of course, I'm asleep.
And we both had work the next morning because I was going to be working up until my due date, because my due date was May 28th. So anyway, I went to bed, and around 10:45, I'm laying in bed, I think I was on my phone scrolling, or I might have just put my phone down.
Then boom.
I felt like I heard this pop, like a popping sensation, and then water just trickling down my leg. I was like,
she really peed in her clothes.
And I was like, what is this? So I got up really quick and then went to the bathroom, and then as I was standing over the toilet, the water just kept coming, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is my water breaking, or I'm legit peeing myself and I can't control my pee because it just kept coming. So I wiped up myself and stuff, put a pad on to catch the leaking because it just kept coming. And I ran over to the bed, Micah's side, and I was like, babe. I had to call his name a couple of times because, as I said, he loves sleep.
I ain't waking up.
So I was like, babe, I think my water just broke or whatever. And then he's like, huh? And then he's like, you think? Or you? He's
Yeah,
like, you
because
think
at
or
this
you
point,
know?
at this point, I'm like, fam.
You gotta go to work.
Yeah, I'm just like, you can't be waking me up if you ain't sure about this. Like, you can't be playing with my
Yeah,
emotions.
but you were very calm though. I'll give him that. So then I was like, yeah, my water just broke. So he was like, okay, give me a minute. Because I guess, he also needs time to
I have to wake up.
wake up.
Like, I can be conscious, but I ain't woke.
It's a good thing I'm not having contractions up at this point because I would have had to wait on him for him to like wake up. But
You gotta give me a minute.
anyway, so yeah, he's taking his minute time to get up or whatever, and I call. Oh yeah, you get up, and then you're like, so what you gonna do? You gonna call Elizabeth? And I was like, I don't know, because Elizabeth was our doula, and she did say to like call when you have contractions and stuff, but I wasn't thinking like my water was gonna break first. So because at this point I still haven't had like any contractions or anything, so I was like, what do I do? Do I call her? Do I text her? It's like 10:45. Is she sleeping? So I called her. She didn't answer, and then I sent her a text message saying, I think my water just broke, like because it just kept coming, just checking to see what you want me to do or whatever. And then she calls and she was like, what did she say? She definitely told us to get some rest because she was like, because you're gonna have a baby tomorrow. And I think that's when it hit me. I'm just like,
Hadn't hit me yet.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm legit gonna have a baby. Even though you can like plan and prepare for it, like when it's actually happening, it's completely different. And then she told us, get some rest, to call her when my contractions were 5 minutes apart for at least an hour. And then she was saying, that might happen like early in the morning, or maybe around 8 or before. So she's like, just get some rest as you can, as much as you guys can. So hung up the phone, and of course, did you sleep at all? Babe, I think you went back to sleep.
I slept like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But not all together.
It was really hard for me to go to sleep. And not because I was in excruciating pain. Because even though by this point, it was maybe like 12:01, and I started feeling like, mild cramps, like if I was on my period. And even my period cramps are usually harder than what I was feeling. It was really nothing to complain about. So that wasn't keeping me up. It was just the excitement and the reality that, oh my gosh, like my water broke, like this baby is coming. That kept me up, and I'm sure it kept him up too. So the next morning, Elizabeth texted around 6 or 7 just to check in to see where we were. And my contractions were still not consistent. So, I was timing them, and it was just like maybe every 8 minutes I would feel something, then every 5, then every 13, then every 20. It was like all over the place, and they still weren't bad. So I was thinking like, this can't be labor pains, because if this is what it is, and people are lying when they talk about, oh, this is so bad. So she told us to like go for a walk, even though we already went for a walk, because again, for my Bradley class, we knew that we were supposed to eat, walk, sleep, nap,
drink, shower.
Yeah, not in that order, but do those things, because if that kind of helps your contractions to become consistent, and you will know for sure if you really are in labor. But I knew I was, because my water had already broke. So we did some walking. Then she told me to get something to eat, take a shower, and then lay on my left side for 40 minutes, because she really believed that was going to help me get into active labor. So up until this point, what I was going through was early labor. And most people don't count early labor when they're counting how long they were in labor. So I did all that, and then I think she came at, what time did she come? 9:45 in the morning. She said she was going to head over. And when she was coming over, again, my contractions still weren't that consistent. They were hurting a little bit more, but still not consistent. I could still talk through them. I was still kind of like laughing. More so, I was really freaking out because the timing just kept stressing me, because I was like, oh my gosh, why aren't they becoming consistent? It was freaking me out. So anyway, Elizabeth came, and that's when things like changed. God bless her. If you're going through having a baby, you need to have a doula, especially if it's your first time. So Elizabeth came, and then I think the first thing she did was not the peanut ball. Didn't she kind of like use the rebozo on me to.
I don't know what that is.
The thing where she did to sift me to get me in the right
yeah.
position. Yeah, she used, I think it's called a rebozo, and I'm going to show a picture of her.
I don't think that's what it's called.
It is. I looked it up before.
So why you just say you think?
But I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Rebozo. I don't know. But
Whatever.
anyway, we're going to include a picture of her using it on me. It's basically this, garment, and she put it under my belly and was like sifting, because I guess it helps it repositioning the baby, because what was happening, why my contractions weren't consistent, was because Amara was in a funky position. So the goal is you want your baby to be LOA, and we can talk about that in the description. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that, just take a Bradley class. But she wasn't, so she did that technique, and then after that she put me on the peanut ball. We're also gonna show a picture of me on the peanut ball. And that basically is like you're doing a squat laying down, so it opens up your pelvis. And I had the most intense contractions on that peanut ball. Like, before I said they weren't hurting, those hurt. Like, they were long. I felt like they were never gonna end. Like, it literally made me groan and just like literally want to call on Jesus. And there was a few times when I did. So I did that. I think I was on there for like 45 minutes several times. And then and then I sat on the birth stool. I had some contractions there. I was drinking throughout my labor, like drinking water. And every time I would have to go to the toilet to pee, I would have a contraction on the toilet again. So they literally were becoming more consistent and definitely more intense. So, and throughout this process, Elizabeth would, squeeze my hips during contractions, and that really helped because in terms of like putting pressure on that area for some reason. And I don't think I have a picture of her squeezing my hip area, but it literally like it helped. And then she also had these like rice packs, I think it's called, where she heats them up in the microwave. Rice bags. She heats it up in the microwave, and then she placed that on my back. And that helped because at that point I was having some pain in my back. I don't know if it was back labor, but so these are all the techniques that she did. So the peanut ball, the rebozo, the rice pack, and just constantly reminding me to breathe my baby down, like take big deep breaths, natural abdominal breathing. And so we did all this, and at the time it felt like, especially when I was going through transition, which is like back-to-back contractions, it definitely hurts more. I felt like it was never ending. But there was a point where I felt like, okay, I need to use the bathroom. Like, I need to push. I need to use the toilet. And I definitely can't do this anymore. Like, I was in the bathroom leaning on Micah when I said that. I was like, I can't do this anymore because it hurt. And I just felt like I was tired. I was exhausted because it was just like constant contractions, and they were longer and longer. So at that point, they were like, okay, get the stuff, like she told me to like put a dress on. Mike was supposed to get the car ready, and I was supposed to go in the back seat, not sitting down. I was supposed to lay down or kneel down, and the car seat was already in the back seat, and Michael forgot how to take out the car seat. So I'm outside the car, leaning in pain, waiting for this guy to.
I forgot. All I had to do was like lift that little latch.
You were scared?
Man, I was just like, it's not working. Oh my gosh.
So I literally was like kneeling in the back, on the back seat floor, and literally like, that's how I was going to the hospital. Luckily, the hospital was only like 7-8 minutes away, and there wasn't bad traffic or anything, but I just know in that car ride there. Oh, and then you forgot where to go in the hospital. I remember that. You forgot how to get to the
top?
The top walking place. I just remember you asking T something. I didn't even look.
Yeah.
Tiara, my friend, was there taking pictures, and I was just like, in my head, I was like, can we just
I was in the right
there?
area. I just took a longer route.
So anyway, we get to the hospital around 1:45 or so, and I'm walking in, and I can barely like walk because it's kind of like my contractions are like back to back, and they are hurting the mess out of me. And then I have to sign some paperwork. My signature, I didn't even know what I was signing. Did you see my signature? I just kind of like scribbled something because
I
like,
just hate the
"Sign
fact that they
here."
were like, "Hey, sign this." We
I
know a baby is literally about to start crowning, but
Yeah. So then we finally get to our room, and I put my gown on and stuff and get in the bed, and they're hooking me up to the monitors, and they were like, "Who's your doctor?" Dr. Bethay. And my doctor was in surgery, even though she was there, because this is during the week now, Monday in the afternoon. And she was in surgery, so they were like, "Well, we're not sure if she's gonna make it." There was another doctor on call, so I was kind of like bummed about that. But the worst part, I think, of my hospital experience, because I really did have a good time at the hospital, was when they gave me my cervical checks. Because at this point, I had declined all cervical checks on my prenatal visits because...
Decline them, ladies. Decline them.
Because it really doesn't tell you much. Like, you could be 0 centimeters on Monday and then 5 centimeters Monday night. Like, it really doesn't mean anything. So we declined it, and I guess when you get to the hospital, that's a routine thing where they check you, even though I was clearly in labor. My water had broken, everything. And it hurt. Like, I was just like, OMG. Like, I wasn't sure if it felt almost worse than a contraction, if not worse. So then she checked me, and I was already 8 centimeters. And then she checked me again, the nurse checked me again. She was a sweet lady. A couple minutes later, and then I guess that's when I was already 10, ready to push. And then I just remember, my doctor coming in, and I was just like, "You made it!" Like, my face lit up in all the pain, and she was like, "Yes, sweetie, I wasn't gonna miss it," or whatever. So the fact that I even had my own OBGYN deliver Amara is, outstanding, because most people don't get their doctor. They get whatever doctor's on call. So I think the hardest part for me too was the pushing. Was the pushing because I forgot the technique that we learned in class in terms of how to push effectively to prevent tears and stuff. Thankfully, I only had a small tear because my doula also, once I got into the room and I was hooked up and stuff, she started putting like warm compresses on my perineum area. So I really didn't tear much, and that's probably why, because my pushing was like horrible, probably.
Yeah, it was terrible. I'm sorry.
So
she forgot how to breathe.
Yeah, you're supposed to take a deep breath and then release, and then another deep breath, and then push to the point of comfort. But I wasn't taking deep breaths. I was just like...
She was like...
Because I just, wanted to get her out, and it's like you literally felt the pressure, and it was just horrible. Plus, they were also telling me when to push, and I feel like my doula was telling me, when you feel like you need to, that's when you push. Because sometimes, you're trying to stop pushing when they're saying, don't push yet, and then push, and it's not... your body knows what to do. So you really just need to listen to your body, and I wasn't doing that at that point. So, I pushed a couple times, for maybe 5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
If that. And then I just remember it almost felt like you were in a movie, even though I can't remember everyone who was in the room, I just remember they're like, "Okay, push mama, you're doing so good, you're doing so good." They're like, here she is. And then it's just nothing else. It was really magical, and they're like, here she is, and then she came. I literally felt her come out, head, and then everything else.
Because
what?
You could feel.
Yeah, because I could feel everything, because I remember I never mentioned any drugs, medication.
No epidural, nothing.
This is completely natural.
100%.
So I felt everything. And then she came out, and then she let out this cry or whatever, and we're going to show you a picture of Michael crying. And then he leaned in on me, and then the look on my face is I was crying, but it was also relief. Yeah. It might look like I was in pain, but it really was just me crying and relief that, okay, I'm done, she's here. And it was just so sweet. And then they immediately put her on my chest because I wanted immediate skin-to-skin contact. And she had the brightest eyes. She was so alert. And she looked at me and immediately was searching for that boobie, because she was trying to get some.
Acting like her daddy.
But really though. So, and then I had as I said, I had like a really small tear, and then I think they were stitching me up. They did the placenta. Well, you cut the cord after 5 minutes because we wanted delayed cord clamping and all that. But like I said, the nurse, everybody thought that this was like my second or third child because they said I was like so calm, and I mean, I know I definitely was calm during transition and during labor, but I just felt like. Yeah, I remember the nurse was trying to hook me up to the hip block.
Well, yeah.
And she couldn't find my vein or something, and I was just like, I didn't feel nothing. It was just like, whatever.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Just do whatever.
Because they stuck the needle in your arm, and like you didn't flinch or
didn't
nothing.
flinch,
and I was just like,
it's because I was feeling more pain.
Like,
He did that. You did think
twice.
I thought, yeah.
I thought she died twice.
Because I was in my position. Oh yeah, I pushed on my side, so I wasn't on my back. I was like on my left side, and then Micah was holding one leg. That's how I pushed. At first, I was gonna push on my knees, facing the back of the bed, but that wasn't as comfortable for me. And that's when he thought I was dead because like my eyes kind of like
she was just
back.
Like. Her breathing almost stopped, and I'm just like, hey.
I was in the zone, like focus. But the nurse was telling me, like she hooked up the fetal monitor at 2:17 p.m. because she looked at the clock, and Amara was born at 2:56. So literally everything happened, within 40 minutes. It was really fast, and for that I'm very thankful. It was a gift from the Lord.
It was the fastest 40 minutes ever.
I know, things really picked up. Let me see if I need to mention anything else. Right after, I nursed her for a little bit. Elizabeth kind of helped me in terms of like the breastfeeding. And then after, I got up and I took a shower. Of course, the nurse helped me because they were just like, we don't want you to faint or whatever because you lost blood. Even though I didn't really lose that much, I don't think. But I felt good. I felt sore, obviously. Like, I did, like, something came out of there. But I felt surprisingly really good. Like, I was walking. I was laughing at that point. I was just like, wow, I just had a baby and I'm like walking around and this is like so amazing. So I definitely loved my birth experience. I felt like laboring at home was definitely a major plus for us. Mm-hmm. Taking that Bradley method class definitely helped us. Having a doula definitely helped us. Like, I don't think not to say that she wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be healthy and she wouldn't be healthy, but I don't feel like I would have had such a positive experience if we hadn't taken the sacrifice to do those things. Yeah. Because it really, we learned so much, and birth is, an athletic event, like what we learn about. So we prepared, in terms of just exercising and preparing my body for what was going to happen so that I felt like I could bounce back really fast. In terms of my postpartum experience, I bled for heavy maybe for a week or a couple days, and then right now she's 3 weeks and I don't have any bleeding. I feel really good. I've lost all my weight
and more.
Probably I don't have no I don't have no butt no more. But I feel really, really good, and I feel empowered that I experienced my birth plan. And not to say that I think everybody should have that feeling with their birth story. And I know things happen, emergencies happen, and thank God for medical providers who can intervene in those situations. But I really feel like this is meant to be a natural process, and I'm glad that worked out for me. And I felt like I could do it again in 3 or 4 years or so. Maybe
6 months.
Yeah, whatever. But I really am glad that we had that class, and then Micah was a really great support. He was present, and you're gonna see in the pictures. Woo! What? Because it's long?
No, just because of I was just hoping I was gonna remember everything.
Oh. He was really supportive, and he was reminding me to breathe and not to tense, and just asking me, what do you need? What do you need from me?
Bun and cheese.
And Ribena. And he's a really great coach, and he's been a really great dad, and I couldn't ask for a better husband, and I love you so much. Mwah. Anything you want to add?
Your bodies are made to do this. Ladies. Feel empowered.
Yeah, and
Yes.
and if you're
Don't be afraid to attempt to have a natural birth. I'll say that. Even though
It
things
might
may
happen.
not,
Yeah.
like our story for this baby was crazy, but you know, it may not be the same next time for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and even if, you know, things don't work out the way, I think it's still okay to want to desire a birth experience that you want. Like, and again, a doula doesn't recommend, like someone was asking about what a doula does. They're not medical providers. They're basically there to support the mom, like, you know, the emotional
She helped me.
well-being. Yeah, and the dad too, like helping Micah, like, and they're supportive of whatever choices you want. So even if you do want, you know, a medicated birth, they're there to be your advocate and to support you in that too. So, you know, I definitely would recommend having a doula, especially for your first, because I feel like that first time is going to set the stage for future
for
experiences.
when we try for this boy,
Oh my
little
goodness.
Micah Jr.
So thank you. She slept through it. Yeah. So if you have any
She probably
questions,
gonna be up all night.
yeah, if you have any questions that maybe I didn't address, because this is my first time doing something
us
like this,
know.
let us know. You can see my nursing bra.
It's okay.
Let us
It's been out the
know.
whole time.
Oh, let us know, babe. Step it back a little bit, and
My arm
I'll
is
do.
tired.
I'll do my
This thing is
best
30
to.
minutes.
I'll do my best to answer. But yeah, thank you for watching. 30 minutes.
Yes, I might do a vlog of me being a father. And hopefully that might be a little bit more consistent than our videos, because she got to do hair and makeup and everything, man. But anyway, y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Any questions, please
You can
send.
still do this now?
Nah, I think it's pretty lame. Anyway, y'all have a good one, ladies. You can do this. Look at her. She's amazing.
See, I still got a little pouch. Even though I lost my weight, this is reality. I still got a little something here.
You still
when I
look
sit.
good, girl. All right, y'all.
I just want to show
Almost drama
them
phone.
that they don't need to be like,
That's what I'm saying. You still look good.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
How does it feel to know that you got my heart on